After Audi's onslaught with the Q3 and the Q3 Sportback, this Bavarian car maker brings in its X power.
Well, BMW heard the battle cry and unleashed this, the all-new X1. It's bigger, bolder and more decked up than ever before. And what's more important is that it packs in some serious firepower under that hood. But all this awesomeness comes at a price tag.
The third generation of the X1 is a big departure from its older self and comes with all the bells and whistles you can expect from BMW. And for all this, the company is charging a hefty moolah. Refer to the price table and you know what I'm talking about. It's like a grand showdown of high-stakes poker, where each brand is desperately trying to outshine the others.
And for all that money, BMW has made sure that you're not left disappointed. It's aggressive, it's mean, it looks fantastic. And it's not at all flashy because if you look at it, it has the right amount of X factor that you would expect from a car this size. I, for one, definitely love it.
BM designers managed not to polarize opinions here. Aggression in its stance is evident, and the smaller grille really helps its case. An adequate amount of muscle all around will now appeal to a larger audience. But the head turner are those new adaptive LED headlights, and they look quite intriguing. The upturned taillights remind us of the larger X7. Along with a massive design overhaul, the X1 also adds to its real estate. Gone are the days when it felt puny compared to its rivals.
Well, I for one always felt that the X1 was slightly smaller in comparison to the cars it was rivaling in the segment. But that now has been solved to a large extent by BMW. So the X1 is now longer, wider and taller than before, and that shows in the massive footprint that it commands. But more importantly, what I really love are the cuts and creases that the profile of the car gets. It looks very mature, it looks extremely appealing and adds to the entire sporty nature of the car.
BMW deserves a pat on the back for its design game, turning the X1's cabin into a swanky hangout spot. And guess what? It's all about you, the driver. The curved display with a touchscreen is big enough to make your smartphone jealous, while the driver's display is your personal digital butler. The latest generation of BMW's iDrive infotainment system, ambient lights, 12-speaker Harman Kardon surround sound system are all standard. The M-style seats, though, are so comfortable. Unfortunately, BMW decided to skip ventilated seats. We wonder why. While BMW wants you to take control of the car more often, it also wants you to relax on other occasions. And since the X1 is all grown up now, it feels more inviting, especially at the rear.
And all that extra space translates to even more space for the rear passengers. You can see that I've got a massive amount of knee room. I've got tons of headroom. The shoulder space is also quite nice. And all of this is largely because of the extended dimensions of the car that BMW has done with the X1. So previously with the older models, there was always an issue of cramped space. But with this version, BMW has just knocked it out of the park. And there's so much room for the rear passengers. I mean, even 3 passengers can comfortably sit here. Obviously, the center seat has to be for a child or like a small kid, because this transmission tunnel is obviously going to hamper his space for the foot. But that's still okay. There's still enough room for him and other passengers But all that space is kind of irrelevant if you don't have a massive panoramic sunroof, which fortunately the X1 now gets.
In a bold move, BMW bids adieu to the all-wheel drive setup and embraces the front-wheel drive configuration.
BMW has excelled in making any ordinary car into great handlers, and the X1 is no different. It's so precise, it's so agile, it's so nimble to drive around. Even if you're doing it in the city or even on the highways, it just manages to give you a very thrilling experience. It's punchy, that engine is quite responsive. You get 3 trims. There's 2 petrol and there's this one, the diesel version in M Sport. So you get that slightly stiffer suspension setup and also that chassis technology that BMW has excelled in giving or converting the entire character of the car, and that shows quite effectively on the X1.
The diesel unit will surprise you. However, it was the 4-pot unit that impressed us the most.
And what do I even tell about the engine? It is so refined, it is so smooth, there's ample power on tap. But you know what? The car is definitely tuned for comfort. So finding that right sweet spot will take you a bit of time to get used to. But once you do that, there's no going back, because this car is just absolutely fun to drive. And don't forget the fact that it gets sport mode. So when you want more performance, just switch into that sport mode, take control of the car with the paddle shifters, and just zoom past all the cars that you can see right into your rear view mirror.
It is clear up until now that the BMW X1 will make you feel like a superhero behind the wheel. For 2023, the SUV comes with BMW's driver assistance system that brings along with it lane departure warning. Trust us on this, it is enough intuitive to even a slight change in direction. Park Assist makes parallel parking really simple. Now the burning question, should you remove your wallet and buy the new X1? Well, only if you're all about diesel power and enjoy the thrill of turbocharged acceleration. Of course, it's a huge step in almost every aspect, but eventually it's going to be your high stakes decision.